Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Sunday. Well, for this episode, as you can see by the title, it's about FOMO Shots Season 3. And disclaimer, I have actually not seen Season 1. Sorry, I have seen Season 1, I haven't watched Season 2. Yes, I watched Season 1 out of curiosity and then I didn't like it much, so I didn't watch Season 2. But then actually I got some YouTube reviews recommended on my homepage, and they were about Season 3. So I watched them and I was really very curious about like what are they showing in this season, because I was really amazed, like in a bad way, about what they're showing in the season. That it actually seemed like a lot of bullshit though. So yes, out of curiosity, I did watch season 3 and I ended up laughing so much. Although I was doing some work while I was watching it because I just couldn't bear it alone. Oh god, I do not even know where to start. Okay, so if you've not seen season 3, and if you do not know about FOMO Shorts, I think you should go actually on YouTube and just see the reviews. You'll get the gist of the show. And if you have seen the show, well, didn't you have anything better to do? I'm just kidding. No judgments here. I have watched it myself. So yes. Okay, where do I even start? So this show is basically focused on four women and their lives, and how they are so messy and how they are flawed, and how everyone is not perfect and they make mistakes and this and that. While I'm all for that, I also saw a lot of bullshit that they were throwing in the name of not being perfect and being flawed and making mistakes. Okay, so if you know about the show, there are four characters. There's Anjana, who has divorced her husband, and now her husband has a baby, has a newborn baby with another woman, and is married. And he actually cheats on his present wife with Anjana. And obviously, his wife throws him out of her house, and now he's back to living with her. And although Anjana tries to make him go and to fix his marriage, they also start imagining a life together again and building a home again and this and that. And and this guy, oh god, I cannot even start talking about this guy is so stupid. First, he has two marriages and he has two babies, and he's juggling with emotions of two women, and he still doesn't have his shit together. I mean, he's actually jumping like a monkey throughout the series and has no regrets whatsoever. And is laughing and making stupid jokes while both of his marriages are actually rigged. And I'm not going to focus much on him because the show is not about him. The show is focused on these four women. So even Anjana, and I don't understand that when you call yourself a feminist, it's not about just supporting your own friends and uplifting your own friends. It's about supporting other women also, right? Women you don't know, and just women in general. So instead of actually feeling what her ex-husband's present wife must be feeling and going through with such a newborn baby in her hands, she actually starts imagining her life with her ex-husband again. And then they cheat on that women again, and she takes him off to a trip with her and this and that. I mean, what where does this support go and where does this upliftment go? Can't you see that you're hurting another woman just because you don't have your emotions together, and because you just want a happy family? If that was the case, maybe you would have done it with somebody else, or maybe you would have done it with a guy who was not actually wrecking his present marriage and hurting another woman while doing that, right? Because you have gone through something bad, so you should know what that woman might be going through as well. And has no, and she doesn't have any regards for it. And then there's this another character who's Umang, who was in a relationship with a woman, and she left her at the altar, and because she felt suffocated in the relationship, and now she doesn't have her shit together, and now she is so messed up, and she doesn't know what to do. So she actually ends up hurting another woman because she didn't know what she was getting herself into, and she didn't know what she wanted. Although she clearly knew what this other woman wanted, which was some seriousness in her life, a serious relationship, something meaningful. She did know that, but Umang still ends up hurting this woman because she didn't know what to do, and she's flawed and she's imperfect. And then she actually ends up hurting another man because again she didn't know what to do. And she herself says that, okay, I used you because I don't know, I'm messy and I'm hurting and I don't know what to do. And then there's Siddhi, who lost her father recently, and of course with such a loss you are yourself lost. And but still, instead of seeking out from a professional help, which she can easily afford, looking at their, all of them can actually afford therapy, looking at their lifestyles, but she actually keeps throwing fits of anger on her friends and on her mother, who is also trying to find a new life for herself. But she keeps making everybody miserable, making very stupid remarks on her friends also when she is drunk. And yes, of course, making her mother miserable, and is not able to deal with her emotions, of course, because she's lost. And then there's this the last character, that's Damini. Oh god, she's the funniest of them all, because she cheats on her boyfriend again, because she had gone through something bad as well, and she also didn't know what to do, and she fears judgment of her own boyfriend, and she feels this pressure of being perfect by her boyfriend. So what she does, she cheats on him. So easy, so this is such an easy solution, and what a solution it is. Oh god, instead of just talking about it with your partner, instead of talking about how they're feeling and how she is feeling pressurized, and maybe just taking a break, what she does is she cheats on him, and even then has no regrets, and just says that, okay, see, you're judging me again, see, you're so judgmental. I mean, first of all, I hate people who say that we do not judge, okay, because you do judge, you definitely judge. And because you have some opinions about certain things, of course you do not judge everything and everybody, because you have but if you have some strong opinions about something, you do judge people who are doing wrong, like opposite of what you feel strongly about. And you're like, what are they doing, and why are they doing that? Of course we say that, be kind to everyone because you don't know what they're going through, of course, unless and until they're doing something that is hurting somebody else. Till then, you be kind. Okay, but these four in the show, what is shown is that these four women do not have their life together, and being such grown ass women, being so independent in double quotes, I must say, and being so upfront, they are actually not able to deal with their own emotions themselves. And they have friends. I mean, they have three other friends that they can each woman has three other friends that they can talk about their emotions with, and all of them do not have their shit together, and all of them are making such stupid mistakes, which are not even mistakes anymore. My friend once told me that, Shani, if you do something once, it is a mistake then. But if you repeat it, it's not a mistake anymore. Then it is a choice that you're making. And here they are just running around in circles, making mistakes, cheating, wrecking marriages, relationships, and hurting other people's emotions because they don't have their shit together. They're just constantly running in this loop. And then at the end, they just say, we call our own shots and we are flawed and we are perfect. We are imperfect. And, to making mistakes in life. Well, okay, yes, I'm all for making mistakes and learning from them. But these are just not mistakes. These are the choices that these women are making in their lives. And they are actually hurting somebody else. Instead of actually seeking out some help, or maybe just start dealing with their own emotions, trying to get their life together. Okay, support, when you talk about supporting other women, helping women, other women out, first of all, it's not just about your female friends, it's about all the women. Okay, and secondly, I feel what makes you a boss babe, or what makes you, a boss lady, boss woman, whoever you want to call yourself, that is actually when you have been hurt, when you have been through bad times, when you have been through, traumatic experiences, but you still have the power to not let your emotions overpower you, or not let your past overpower you, and you are still kind to people around you. That's what makes you strong. That what makes you a boss lady. That what makes you a strong woman. That no matter what has happened to you, you have still that power in yourself. You know who you are, and you will not change. You will not let those experiences, the past, the people change who you are, and you're still kind to people. That is your power. And that is what makes you strong. And that what makes you a boss babe. Instead of running around in circles, making horrible mistakes, cheating on people, and, playing with their emotions and traumatizing them because you have not been able to deal with your own self. And it's just once, okay? You make a mistake once, right? Why don't you ever, why have these women not learned from it? Why haven't they just sat with themselves that, okay, where am I going wrong? What am I doing wrong? Instead, it's shown that they have no regrets for it. So, okay, if you're watching this show just for entertainment and, not taking anything away from it and you're just passing your time, good for you. But I don't want girls, who are growing up right now, or women also in that whatever, in their 20s or whoever. I just don't want you to learn that, oh, this is all right, because this is not all right and this is not okay. And if you come at me saying that don't moral police them, of course I'm gonna moral police them, because where are the morals? You gotta have some morals, right? Or you know, because I think that's what makes us a human, having morals, ethics, principles, something in your life that makes you have boundaries, that okay, no matter what happens, no matter whatever I'm going through, this is my boundary and I do not cross them. This is my character and this is who I will always be, no matter what. I know, because everybody in their heart knows what is right and what is wrong. When you're doing something, you know that if it's right or if it's wrong. So you should have that ability to let yourself know that, okay, this is wrong and I will not do it. Instead of, instead of cheating on her boyfriend because she couldn't deal with her, cheating on her boyfriend like twice because he called her a serial cheater. So, instead of doing that, she could have just said no to the other guy, and she could have just sat with herself and maybe broken it off with her boyfriend as well, because she wanted a break and she wanted to know what she really wants in life, instead of just cheating and having no regrets and then just covering it up in fear of judgment and being imperfect. That's not the way to go. Are you kidding me? Please do not kid me. Because see, of course everybody is imperfect. No one has their shit together. No matter how much they look like they have their shit together, no one has their shit together. Everyone is learning. But I think the power lies where you can actually, understand what being hurt actually feels like. And when you have been through bad times, when you have been hurt, no matter how you are hurt, the least that you would want is somebody else getting hurt, because you know how bad it feels, how bad it is, how bad it is to actually get out of it. So that's the least that you will do, not hurting somebody else intentionally, someone who has done nothing to you. Well, I am all for being a bitch to those who are a bitch to you, all genders included. I'm all for that. Do you when it comes to that. If there are people who have done bad to you, do behave however you want to with them. But if there are people who are there who just being there for you, and even if they're not there for you, they're complete strangers, the least that you can do is be kind. And you need to learn to sit with yourself and deal with your emotions. And it takes time, of course. It's not easy. It's even scary to deal with your own thoughts. But you should be able to come at a place in life where you're able to sit in a room alone with your own thoughts and be able to deal with your emotions, because otherwise you'll just constantly run around in circles. And this is something that I really wanted to talk about, but I didn't know how to start it or talk about it. So actually I saw this show as an opportunity also to relate it with, and how beautifully it got related, because these girls were doing exactly what I wanted to tell you. Because this is not the way to go, and they can easily afford therapy by looking at their lifestyles, but they're still not going out for that and hurting somebody, and doing such stupid mistakes again and again, that being glorified. It's not right, okay? Because you have to have some principles, ethics, morals in life, that okay, this is wrong and this is right, and this is my boundary. I do not do this to somebody else, because they might stop believing in kindness just because of you. Now that guy got cheated on, who was pouring out his love all for this girl, and he was doing everything that he wanted. He even wanted to get married to her. Now, although it's not shown in this way in this show, but now he might stop. He could have just stopped believing in love and being fair to somebody else. He could have just thought to himself that okay, all I end up is getting hurt, so I'm gonna do the same to somebody else, or maybe I'm not gonna love, or it's not worth it. It can happen, right? You can actually traumatize somebody else because you are not able to get your shit together. And you actually have to, because bad experiences are always going to happen. You cannot just use that as an excuse to keep hurting someone else. Now, if you're 35 years old and you tell me that, okay, I got bullied in school, bullied in school, I am gonna hurt, that is, I'm hurting somebody else, or I am actually, being a bitch to somebody else because I was bullied in school. Are you kidding me? You're 35 fucking years old. You're old. Haven't you ever dealt with it? Oh God, that means you've never healed. And that is so stupid. That is just a reason for you, or not even a reason, sorry, an excuse for you to hurt somebody else. Are you being really that stupid? Oh God, I'm like, what are these? Are just mere excuses. And this is not being evolved actually. You can actually seek out help, whatever you can in some way, but the least that you can do is not hurt somebody else. And that is not, and hurting someone else, and just because you're financially independent, that doesn't make you a boss, babe. I'm sorry. I know that whenever we talk about independence, we always talk about financial independence. But I think the independence that is more important than that is emotional independence. Because you might be earning loads of money, you might be at a very top position in your company, you might be, very wealthy or whatever. But if you're not emotionally independent, and your feelings or your character is constantly affected by those around you, or by those around or how they treat you, then that means that you're not emotionally independent, and that doesn't make you independent. Then you're not an independent person overall. Just because you're financially independent, that doesn't make you an independent person overall. And you have to be at a place where how someone else treats you, how someone else is behaving with you, or how someone else has behaved with you in the past doesn't affect your emotions or doesn't affect your character. That is when you're independent. That people around you are not going to change who you are. That is what is being independent. That is what being a boss babe is, right? Because you cannot change anybody else around you but your own self. You can be the strong character who is not changed by anybody else's emotions or their behavior, because you stand so strong that nothing else can actually affect you. And that is how you would want to become, right? Instead of being a bitch to everybody else around you, because you are not able to deal with everything that's going on, and you actually you are the one person that you're going to spend your whole life with. That is certain, that okay, I am the one that I'm actually certain about, that I will have to spend my life with myself. So if you do not learn to deal with your emotions, and whatever you have gone through or going through right now, it's going to be really, really problematic. And you have to start somewhere. You have to start talking to yourself or learning from yourself, that where does this hurt come from? How do I heal? What steps do I take? So that you can actually help somebody else in future, right? The least that you would want is that you hurt somebody else intentionally who has done nothing to you. And the most that you would want is helping somebody else out there as well, who has been hurt in any way you can. Helping them in any way you can. So I just don't want girls who are growing up, or women, to take this from the show that, okay, it is okay to make such stupid mistakes, because honey, it's not okay. Because you're really, really hurting and traumatizing people around you. So it's not okay. You have to learn to deal with it in a healthy way. And when we talk about making mistakes in life and doing this and that doesn't mean that you're hurting somebody else while you're doing that all the time. That's not mistakes. That are just choices you're making, because you're actually a complete mess. So just take from this show that you should not have friends like that. Because if your friends are not calling you out in your bullshit, they are not your real friends. And I think these 4 women do not call each other out, because all of them are making such horrible mistakes that even if one calls the other one out, she will be, backfiring, like, okay, let me see just what you have done in your life. And this Siddhi character actually calls them out while she was drunk. And that is how you get to know how she really feels about them, because she calls all of them out. And that is how actually she feels about them. If I were in their place, in any of their places, and I would have told my real life friends about it, my female friends about it, They would have been with me in the pain, but they would have thrown it in my face that, okay, this is so bullshit and this is fucking wrong. Because I think that's what real friends do. And I just hope that you do not get such a set of friends. And I hope that you do not take this, if you just watch this for entertainment, and just take that this is not the healthy way to go and the healthy way to deal with your problems, okay? And this is not how you become a boss babe. No. This is not who a boss babe is. Just because this title is available outside doesn't mean that you can call yourself that with any bullshit that you do in life. So be kind, learn to deal with your traumas, and learn to heal and help others heal. Alright? Don't throw this bullshit around, and don't cover your mistakes your whole life in excuses that you have been traumatized too. No, that doesn't give you a license to traumatize somebody else, hurt somebody else who might do this to somebody else too. This is not the way to go. You have to heal, and that will actually make you strong. So I think that's enough. That's enough for this podcast. I can go on and on about it, but that's what I would want you to take take from this show. And yeah, oh god, I was actually laughing at the show. Yeah, I don't know what these guys are making, what these guys are glorifying. I don't even know if there are more shows like this. I don't watch them a lot. I hope you guys took something from this episode though, because yes, and I would like you to take my lessons from this. And yes, see, everybody is not perfect. We are all flawed and we are all a mess in one way or the other. But the least that you can do with all this baggage is be kind, okay? And learn to deal with your problems and learn to deal with your emotions. Because unless you start doing it now, it will be really, really problematic, and you'll actually end up hurting other people. And that's not what you would want to do, because that's not who you are. And you should have some character. Not character, of course, character. Principles, ethics, boundaries in life. And well, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.